my name's Tessa Mullins, and I'm a junior at Livermore Valley Charter Preparatory High School. Today, I'm here with our principal, Mr. Dillie. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
To start us off, we have a video straight from the drama department about their latest production, the second annual Madrigal. I heard you were actually in it this year. How was that?
I was. So Mrs. Deacon asked me if I would be in it, and I think she was expecting a different answer. I said, sure, yeah, let's do it. I said, what do I have to do? And she said, you have no speaking parts. All you have to do is put on this really goofy outfit and then act a fool. And I said, I can do that. So I actually had to put on pantyhose for this role. And I was knighted by Darth Vader at the end with a lightsaber, and I got my own lightsaber at the end. And we sang Joy to the World after that. So it was pretty cool. I had a great time. It's my first time I've ever had a part in an LVCP production, and I look forward to many more.
That sounds awesome. Now let's take a look at the video.
My name is Colleen Deacon. I am the drama director at LVCP, and I wrote the play, and I directed it, and choreographed it. The Madrigal is, first and foremost, the concept of being the fundraiser for the Visual and Performing Arts Department that we're going to be hopefully doing every single year. We would like to actually offer dinner, so it should be a dinner show. And then there's entertainment such as the jester who sings and dances and cracks funny jokes.
I'm wounded! Call me a doctor! You're a doctor! Thanks! I feel better already. I'm glad I didn't ask him to call me a cat.
This year we have a duel over Princess Leia, over her heart, because that is sort of our nod and appreciation to Star Wars. And then also the choir has several songs that they sing.
My name is Joe Lim, and I'm the Director of Choral and Instrumental Music here at LVCP. I am primarily concerned with the music itself, so I choose all the music, at least in terms of the live music. So I take care of all of the musical selections for the choir, and I try to pick sort of an eclectic mix. So I pick music that is appropriate for the Renaissance period, but I don't just strictly stick with that period, so I might pick something that's a little bit more modern. We did a piece this year called If Music Be the Food of Love, which is, it sounds like it could be maybe Shakespearean, but it was actually written recently by a living composer. So that's not from the Renaissance period, but the text itself kind of reflects the sort of the nature of the night. It's fun when we all get together the first time, because I don't think the kids really quite get what this is all about until they get together, and suddenly they're like, oh, that's why we do this, and oh, that's why you had us turn cartwheels at this section, and that's why you had, the choir yell at this point. The choirs and I rehearse in this room, and we learn our music well. There is just also that sort of, it's complicated when you bring in another group. So, and by another group I mean working with drama. We've never really worked with each other at this point in the year, and also in that space and in that context. So it's a lot to have to put together in a very short amount of time. I'm big on the costumes. I love costumes. I mean, I'm just that kind of person. I love wearing the costumes, and I'm happy that I got one to wear that night.
My role was a character that was supposed to be very sort of pompous and conceited, and I was supposed to strut. So I took it up a notch. I improvised. I went to a table, drank some of their apple juice, ate somebody's cheese, and I was supposed to sort of strut down the little runway like a peacock kind of a thing. And then I was knighted and given a sword, and they got to sing "Deck the Halls" at the end. It was cool. I enjoyed every minute of it.
You may have won me, but you'll never have the heart to see
it's really fun. So it's really kind of fun to see the kids grasp the concept that there is a vision, and then when they see that vision and it comes to clarity in their minds, it just elevates the performance, and everybody has a great time, and everybody is bought in then, everybody's committed, and everybody is like on board with making this the best show that it possibly can be. The students here at LVCP work so hard, and we have such high expectations of what they're capable of doing, and when the kids actually show that side of themselves to the parents, I think the parents are really surprised. I'm most excited to have the audience see it. I think that shock value, because most of our audience is parents and family members of the students. So I think mom and dad is always coming in to expect to see little Johnny and little Sally and how cute they are. But I think when they actually come in and they see the quality of what their children produce and see that the kids are truly committed to the art form of both theater and choir, and that it comes together this way, and that because this show is a little different in that we don't do it on the stage. The kids are part of the audience, so that when the audience walks in, they're immediately in, they're like in the stage, they're in the castle, and the characters and the kids and the actors and the choir and everybody is surrounding the audience at all times, and the kids talk to the audience members and nudge them and sit down next to them and cuddle up with them. And so the audience, I think, suddenly becomes really excited because they're part of it. It's really fun to have the audience understand that they're not just coming to see a recital here at LVCP of their choir kids, you know, that it's actually an event.
I thought we had a really positive sort of reaction to the night. I think we have a lot of newer families this year, so it might have been a different experience for them. And so it took them maybe just a little while to get themselves acclimated to what the evening was all about. But overall, I thought we had a very appreciative and we were blessed to have a really good audience that night.
I always tell people that our school is in a lot of ways like a performing arts high school, because we have so many talented thespians and musicians and just very outgoing, outspoken, colorful type young adults who are going to grow into adults much of the same way. So it's a big emphasis at our school, performing arts in general, and I love seeing it grow and flourish, and just what Mystique and all the students come up with on a year-to-year basis. It's cool. It's very cool, and we're going to support it in every way possible. So.
Just before the Madrigal, our drama program became part of an International Thespian Society, which is a prestigious organization known all around the world. Quite an achievement, huh?
It really, really is. So the International Thespian Society is a lot like the California Scholarship Federation to academics. Our students are so talented, and Mrs. Deacon and I wanted to bring this club to our school so our kids could be part of an international club, as well as make their college resumes look great. And in fact, my wife is a member of the International Thespian Society. She was a state champion thespian. So pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, that is cool. We're now going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to take a more in-depth look at our International Thespian Society. Stay with us. Welcome back. We're talking about the drama achievements at LVCP. Here's a more in-depth look at what our International Thespian Society is.
The International Thespian Society is a group of students who love theater, and they all come together to work on different aspects of productions. So for example, we have people who work on sound, we have people who work on lights, we have people who work on publicity. And they're just a big support system for the actors, and they're kind of the people that are hidden in the background, but they still love performing arts. So the fact that we have a group of students that are actively interested in the same thing, and it's a pretty large group of students because it connects music, That means it connects choir, orchestra, jazz band. It can connect people like media arts, those types of people, like people who work on sound or digital music. And then, of course, it connects the actors. And it brings all these different groups of people who are all interested in different things, and it gives them one common goal to focus on. So we're like the glue, I suppose, of our scattered school.
We plan all the productions here at our school. We make sure that everything is taken care of. We do all of the planning. We're sometimes the producers, but mainly everything we do is done by the students, for other students and their parents as well. As stage designer, I'm the one that designs most of the sets for our productions. I make sure that the actors are well acquainted with the set fits what our needs are and for what the needs of the play are, and as backstage manager, I am there to ensure that the actors are well prepared for their upcoming scenes and that everything is running smoothly backstage.
I am costume designer, and I've been designing costumes since I was a freshman. And I did the fall show. That was my first time. It was so fun. You need to know what's going on in every department of it. So you need to know like what props is doing, what they're in charge of, if you're in charge of anything that's prop-ish related. Because props and costumes, it's kind of hard to decide which one's which sometimes. Like a sword, for instance, that might be props, or it might be a costume. It might be like a part of what the character wears. I really love the atmosphere of drama. I really love how the people interact with each other. It's like a big family.
I really enjoy the fact that everyone is focused on one thing and that there's a group accumulating toward one common goal. We're all working together for something. I'm really proud of all the things that I do. I've met a lot of people that are really devoted to what they do. I've worked with a whole slew of different personalities and attitudes. It's really been able to prepare me for what it's like in the real world. And I've learned what it's like to really take charge of a position and to be forced to problem solve on the spot.
Livermore Valley Charter Prep High School has petitioned the International Thespian Society. It's the student honorary division of the Educational Theater Association for privilege of chartering a thespian troupe.
I think it's pretty cool to be an inductee of the society because only 6 people got to do it, and they're just people that had been like consistently dedicated. They had been in ITS or the drama cabinet last year, so it's pretty cool to be one of the first people like starting the new chapter and expanding the organization to the broader community. Like now we have more opportunities. We get to go to the Advocacy for the Arts Day in Sacramento. So instead of being just trapped in our little school, we can expand to the broader community, not just in Livermore, but apparently like to the rest of California too. So I think that's pretty cool to be one of the first people working on that.
My favorite production would be Charlie Brown, the musical, because that was really fun. We had a lady, Amy, she came in, and so I got to talk to her, and we actually made the costumes for that play, for the musical. And it was really fun because I was in the class that we were making the costumes, and so I got to know how to have more open range with designing the costumes because we were making it when we didn't have to find it and work with what the kids had.
I've worked on quite a few plays. Freshman year, I was still a little shy. I was just a freshman, so I didn't do as many then. But since then, I've had a hand in everything. Sophomore year, I acted in the Festival of One Acts with Julia DeSimone and Zach Turner. I really loved doing that. That was pretty fun. I could still probably recite some of my lines. Since then, I also did the lights for 10 Red Kings, and that was by myself with help from other older students. Festival One Act plays, I was a director. So pretty much everything, like the end of freshman year up, I've tried to have a hand in.
The very next event that we're doing is called the Festival of Short Plays, and it's a tradition that we have here at LVCP, and it is completely and wholly produced, directed, acted, run, designed, created by the student body. I basically just sit back in my big comfy chair and make sure that everybody's okay.
If you're interested in theater but you're scared to do it, there's always something for you. You don't have to act. You can go behind the scenes. You could work as a stagehand. You could work as an assistant director. You could work as the stage producer. You could run the lights. There's so many different options in theater. And it's not necessarily about performing all the time. It's about forming that close bond with your with your peers too, everybody's interested in the same thing. So it's really satisfying to see all of your hard work come together into one final beautiful production.
So, there's been a lot of talk about LVCP with the new campus, and even new programs that we're starting. What can you tell me about that?
Wow, so the new campus. We are on track and fully intending to move in this summer. Obviously, we didn't move in over the winter break, so I can touch that a little bit. The building is actually renovated and ready to go. It looks beautiful on the inside. In fact, I was just there this week. Right now, what we are doing is completing and constructing a parking lot at our sister school. And once that parking lot, as well as a double turn lane on Lost Canyons Road, is completed, then we will receive our occupancy certificate and move in. And you well know this. This has been in the works for roughly 7 years. Your older brothers, who were juniors in college, were freshmen when this first started. So it's been a long time, and with that, emotions, right? There's emotions, and there's, are we not going to, what building are we going to go to? When is this ever going to happen? You did a very funny skit the last show.
Can we trust this?
Exactly. And that's been a long, long, hard road for our parents, our students, our faculty, our staff, everybody involved in the process. And it's coming to an end, and it all culminated in a very emotional time over the break here. But the good news is that we're working very well with city permitters and city planners to get this thing done for our kids and our families. And we fully intend to be there to start the 16-17 school year. And it's, like I said already, it's a beautiful building. It will be home. It'll be better than home for us. It's sort of a new beginning to jumpstart some of our programs. So we have a great school. We have many programs, but one thing we're looking to expand upon is our robotics program. And we have a group of really dedicated young men and women who created a new robotics club called the First Robotics Competition. It's a huge robotics competition. They're taking part in it. It's a national type competition. They're larger events, larger robots, more involved. We also want to build a solar car and race it in the Solar Car Challenge. It starts usually in Austin, Texas, and it ends in San Jose. Every other year they do this race. So they're working on that as well. We also want to expand our media arts program. We want to expand our theater arts program. We want to give our science students better labs to work in, and that's all happening with the new building. So, like I said, emotions ran high. I think lessons learned for sure. Whenever you get adults involved in an emotionally charged political situation, things tend to happen, and things did happen. But that's what's so wonderful about just this whole process, is that the sun does come up. There is a tomorrow. Yesterday is yesterday, and we can move forward, and that's what we're doing with people that we need to move forward with everybody involved in this process.
Quick question. Things like the double turn lane, is that something that we more have to beg the city to get done, or is that something that us as TVLC are spearheading?
No, so that's a good question. So that is on us to do they're called off-site improvements. And many plans were submitted, and many plans were rejected, and some were approved. And the plan that was approved has us creating a double turn lane to accommodate really for the increased traffic flow onto 580 typically, because 580 is the big road there, right? So that's on us, and that's our construction project. And then the parking lot, of course, is our construction project as well. And that's, again, to manage and alleviate and manage traffic flow.
Cool. Thanks for the updates. Well, that about wraps up our show here. Thank you for joining me, Mr. Dillie. Always nice to have you on the show. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll be sure to keep you updated on all things happening at LVCP.